Commissioner, I'm trying to hear you. So, and what I mean by that is understand you. What is the problem that you're attempting to solve with this product? In other words,
So
you were talking
assuming we could potentially pull it off correctly, which is I think the concern that you're raising, which is if the fruit of the tree is this poisonous, you want this to be a fair, ideologically free, faithful representation of the teeth. But is we want to ensure that our teachers have access to rigorous instructional material that focuses on the fundamentals, reading, writing, math.
Is this so they don't have to spend as much time in lesson planning?
If to the extent that you've got a lot of new teachers, for example, and being a new teacher, we have teachers in the
And that's what this is all about?
Yes,
Is that essentially what this is all about?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of seems a little bit like maybe they just don't want the teachers to have their input. It just needs to be, they want everybody to fall in line with what they're given. Is that a fair
Like a
observation?
digital facilitator instead of.
Well, I'm just saying with the, well, I don't want to take up any, it's fine.
I think the analogy, when I was a kid, I learned from a textbook. Teachers, there was a textbook in the classroom, we wrapped it, you got the grocery store bag, and you wrapped it. That's not happening anymore. And so where do the textbooks come from? You have to have some corpus of materials that a teacher can pull from. And so we generally have observed that textbooks are not used anymore. There needs to be that approach has to be there. It has to be aligned with the TEKS. And then you have to provide support to the teachers so that they can do that and then iterate and change their lessons from it.
Well, the bottom line is all educational technology is littered with everything she's talking about.
Yeah.
It's all embedded in throughout all educational technology. I know you're aware of this. You spoke about it in 26, embedding all of these social and emotional learning skills, the soft skills into math, into English. You are now mandating the TEA, the online STAR. So I really shudder when I hear you say, oh, well, I want kids writing, but you've got third graders and kindergartners taking an online STAR test. So all of the online business, it has to go. We don't want it. No parents want it. We want traditional education. We want reading, writing, math. We want books, paper, pencil. We want to stop wasting our tax dollars on technology that is a proven failure. We want the Texas Virtual Learning Commission to go away. We wanted people to start studying. How did we learn? How did you learn? I didn't learn like this. Reading's not a rocket science. This science of reading nonsense, it's not a science. And when you say science of reading, you're gathering data on every student, you're collecting it, it's wrong. Stop now, no more technology.
Look at this right here.
During the night, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Our district, Belton ISD, opted, I talked to the superintendent of teaching and learning, Deanna Love-Smith. They opted not to take Amplify, the free, because they said they would have to pay for it after a few years or a year, whatever y'all worked out. The reason they said that I'm concerned about, and I want your answer if you don't mind, they decided they did not want to take it because the amount of data that you were wanting to collect using this program, what student data is being collected through Amplify beyond the surveys? What is TEA asking the schools to hand over in exchange for Amplify?
Yeah.
Why
And
would that
Quaver
send an
Ed.
alarm bell to I don't trust Belton ISD anyway, but why would that alarm somebody that I don't trust? That I need the answer to that question if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know the answer.
You don't know what data they're wanting in exchange?
So there's a tool that I'm aware of called M-Class, which is a variation of an assessment called DIBBLES.
Say that again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna write that down.
Class Dibbles.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Dibbles?
DIBBLES. DIBBLES, I think, was built by the University of Oregon in the 70s, and it's a foundational literacy assessment. It identifies fluency and sort of decoding skills in early grades.
DIBELS.
DREL, thank you.
And so M-Class is a tool that I'm aware of that is but it's free. I'm not actually sure what the district is saying is fee-based. And
They said Amplify would become fee-based because that's typically how the TEA works. But in exchange temporarily for the free curriculum, and this is all through Deanna Love Smith, I have the recorded conversation. But they said in exchange for the temporary free, that TEA was requiring a lot of student data that the district was not comfortable handing over in the immediate. So I don't think that's a reading comprehension or
that sounds like
decoding.
something else.
It sounds
that I
like
don't know.
real data, like our students' information beyond their ability to decode reading lessons. That, I mean, you should know that, I would think. And I'm not attacking you, I'm just thinking, if the superintendent of teaching and learning in the school district doesn't wanna take your program that you're pushing out and presenting to us because of the amount of data, I wanna know what exact data is being collected on our kids. I've pulled my kids because I don't trust none of y'all. I don't trust the school district, I don't trust the TEA. I'm fighting left and right. I can't work because of all this crap I'm having to deal with, and it makes me so angry. And none of y'all ever give a straight answer. You should know the answer to what data is being collected on our kids in exchange for what you're trying to sell us today.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you open to
Wait, can he answer the
pulling
question?
Amplify?
Can he answer her
And I'm not
question?
attacking you, but I feel like you're in a position to where I'm a mom. I should know answers about my
That's
children.
right. Yes, ma'am.
I have the duty to know these answers about these kids. You are in a position to where you're held to a higher standard than some secretary at the TEA. You need to know the answers to what student data is being collected to something you're trying to get us to use
So-
and telling us how great it is.
So there's an assessment called M-Class that I'm aware of. I believe there's an intervention tool that Amplify sells.
Intervention for what?
It's a reading intervention. So students that are having
Everything is a reading. What? I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I don't think it's all reading based. I think y'all are trying to get mental health information and trying to assess our kids and give them surveys and collect data about our families, and we don't want that.